What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here from Darium's Competitive Pokemon. Got a new product we're going to be reviewing today. These are aluminum CNC machine cut dice from TCEvolutions. I already cracked them out of their packages for you guys so that I could take a look at what they were like and just get my hands on them and see what it was like to play with these things before I actually did a product review video. I think these dice are super slick, just very cool, very vibrant looking. I love the color. I love the feel of them. I'd had my eyes on these for a while, but then Stephen Wang, I think he's the founder of TCEvolutions, or at least someone who works there, contacted me on Facebook asking if I would like to review them for the channel. He said he'd stumbled over Darium's Competitive Pokemon just while looking online and noticed that I do product reviews and was asking if I would be interested in reviewing these dice. I told him that I'd actually seen the dice around and I, definitely noticed them. These are very visually appealing dice, very nice damage counters as well. Not damage counters, but GX counters. I really like these things. I think they're really cool, and I've seen some pro players playing with them, so I was interested in getting my hands on some just to see what it would be like to play with them. So I told Steve, yeah, I would love to review them, but I don't own any. So Steve was nice enough to send me 2 sets of these TCEvolutions dice so that I could review them for the channel. So, full disclosure, these were provided for me free of cost from Steve from TCEvolutions. So shout out to Steve. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it, just being able to bring new products to the channel for everybody to be able to see, especially popular products like these aluminum cut dice. I've been seeing these everywhere. So I'm excited to be able to get these and just be able to tell you guys about them and kind of see what they're all about and see if they're worth spending the money on. That being said, I did not promise Steve or anybody at TCEvolutions that I would review these in any particular kind of way, so I am going to be giving you my honest opinion about these dice and, just whether or not they're worth it or, worth spending your money on. So I am going to be giving you my honest opinion, but major props, major shout out to Steve. Thank you guys for providing these for me so that I can review them for the channel. Really, really appreciate it. So, as advertised on TCEvolutions Dice website, which is right here if you guys want to check out the products that they have there, they do come in packs of 6, so they come in 6 pieces. So I've removed these bigger ones here. These actually were being passed out at the Memphis Regional Championship, and these are just bigger dice with 190, 130. I think everything from 130 and up is on this dice. So 6 sides, 130 and up, and then this is an even one, so they have an odd one and an even one, and they go all the way up to 240. So that's pretty cool, but these do not come with the ones that I see advertised online. These were kind of like a special giveaway, I think, for the Memphis Regional Championships. And you can see there that the pink is a little mismatched as far as the color goes as well. But I think that's just because these were just giveaways for the Memphis Regional Championships. These are the ones that I actually got from Steve, which is 2 packs of 6. So they come with 6 pieces, and each pack, as advertised on the website, comes with 4 D6s, and these are just regular D6s. They have between 10 and 60 on them, and it's the equivalent of using just a D6 that has between a 1 and a 6 on it. So if you are a little intimidated by, just the fact that these are very numbery and have lots of numbers on them, you can just use these 4 here that are D6s, and that should be very familiar to you. So if you wanted, you could place, a 6, a 6, and a 6 on a Pokemon, and you'd have 180, or you could do 6, 6, and 4, and you have 160, and that should all be very familiar to you if you're not trying to do a bunch of math and be like, well, do I have my 100 and my 70? You could still use them just as D6 if you just want to use only the D6 ones. So that was a little comforting to me as well. Now, this set of 6 dice does cost $16.99 on the website. So I had noticed that when I was perusing these at a local card shop that they are a little expensive. For 6 dice, you're going to be spending $17. So that is a little bit of money, and that's why I hadn't actually bought them yet, because they are a little bit on the expensive side, and I already have dice that I really like to use. So what was going to incentivize me to want to spend, $17 on 6 dice? I couldn't really justify it at the point in time, when I was out there at the card shop as just an impulse buy. Now, I do think also just, operating with just one set of these is going to be a little thin, because what if your opponent decides that they want to flying flip you or something like that? You're only going to have 4 D6s, right? So you're going to run out. You're going to do, 20 and then 20 and then 20, and then you're only going to have 4 of these, right? So eventually you will run out, and you're going to want to at least have 6 of the D6s, right? So that means that in order to have enough damage counters that you can ensure that you can prepare for any opponent, any sort of situation that your opponent throws at you, you're probably going to want at least 2 sets of these. So, each set does cost, like I said, $16.99. So if you're going to be buying 2 sets of these, you're looking at a $34 purchase. So $34 for, 12 aluminum dice is not exactly something that I think a lot of players maybe are looking to spend on their dice, since you can get, dice for just much cheaper. That being said, these dice are very, very, very nice. I mean, these things are beautiful. I think they just look fantastic. The color is really great. They shine. They're visually appealing. I mean, this is swag at its finest. The GX counter is also great. I think it's very cool also just being able to get 2 different colors. And I understand why these do cost $17. They are crafted in a CNC machine. So if that means that they are like custom crafted, from an aluminum block, and then etched as well. So these are all like custom made, and which is very cool. I mean, these are made by somebody who programs CNC machines, and I have a buddy of mine who does that. I have a lot of respect for the work that he does, and I do think that this is just a very fine material. I mean, we were talking about, this is like actual metal. It's aluminum. They were cut to size. They were etched. This is all very, very neat. Most of the dice that you're going to be purchasing that are much cheaper are just plastic dice with little dimples. I got these right here that I do enjoy, but the product is not nearly as nice or refined. I mean, but does it have to be? They are just dice at the end of the day. They are used for keeping damage. They don't need to be totally they don't need to be totally swagged out or weighty like these aluminum dice here. But, if you are into aesthetics, and if you've got, a little bit of disposable income, or you like, you like to swag out, some people spend, $30, $40, $50 on a playmat. So easily, I could see spending $30 on some dice. If that was something, that interested you, these would definitely be worth it for some players. I'm just not sure that every single player wants to be spending $30 on dice, but I definitely could see it for some players, since, players do have their things that they like to swag out. Some players like to have really swaggy sleeves. Some players like to have really swaggy mats. Some players are going to want the swaggiest dice and the swaggiest GX counters, and I think that this is pretty much what we're looking at here. These are like the coolest dice, that I've seen on the market, and I really do like them, and I like what TC Evolutions is doing, by, bringing these to the Pokemon community, having GX counters and things like that. I will say that this GX counter is sold separately on the website. It is super nice. It's very cool. Comes in different colors, but they are sold out of them temporarily at the point that I am doing this review. So it says that they're redesigning the GX counter, so maybe look out for that in the future, just for what that might look like. But I do think that GX counters are super sweet too, and could definitely see myself using this at a tournament. Right now, I believe I'm using Hulan's, Mikey's birthday GX counter. He saw that I was using this. He was actually judging my top 4 match at the Memphis Regional Championship. This is what I'm using right now. Cool, because this is my buddy Hulan, who is on the GX counter. I think that's really neat. But I could definitely see myself using this aluminum GX counter too, just because it is very nice. So on to the actual gameplay with these things. I think the dice look beautiful. They feel beautiful. They're a little expensive, but that doesn't matter to some people. And hey, if Steve sends them for free, I will take them, because I think these things are absolutely dope. So I'm definitely going to be using them now that I have my hands on them. But as far as actual gameplay goes with these, I do have some things to talk about, because, it is a little bit harder to use these, I think, than it might be to use, the regular dice. So let's talk about that a little bit just from a competitive standpoint. We are in a high stakes tournament environment, and, I need to keep track of my damage as quickly, as efficiently as possible. So say I've got, a Pokemon GX, and I just need to be able to put damage on it quickly. Most players are very, used to just using, regular D6 to keep track of their damage. So if you said, hey, Andrew, I need you to put, 90 damage on a Buzzwole, I'm already thinking that's a 6 and a 3, and that's just going to happen very quickly and naturally, right? But if you were to say, hey, Andrew, I need to put 90 damage on a Buzzwole from over here, I'm going to be looking around like, oh, okay, here's the 91, right? It might take me a little bit longer. That 90 was like face right up. But if you said, hey, Andrew, go ahead and put like 120 on, I'm going to be having to like look around, find the 120, and just find out where that is. It's taken me some practice. I've gotten pretty good at it. But at first, I was like poking around, like really had no idea where to find the various ones. I was like looking on the wrong dice. I didn't know where things were, and it was taking me some time. 120 with 2 of these, I know automatically that that's going to be 2 D6s, and my brain is already programmed that way. So I will say that in order to play with these in a competitive environment, you might want to practice with them first, so that you're not just like hunting around saying like, okay, where is my, my 100, and then where is like my, where's my 70, so that I, just so that you're not poking around and really just wasting time that way, because you don't want to be wasting time on anything that does not, feel natural to you. You don't want to be wasting time trying to learn how to use these to count damage or which dice is the 170 on. You don't want to be like spinning around looking for 170. You just want to be able to just like plop something down and find it. So I will say that if you are playing with these TCEvolutions dice, and I found that the easiest way for me to be able to be quick with them, which was very important to me, because when I'm keeping track of my damage, honestly, I'm in a high stakes tournament setting, all I want is something that is quick and easy to use. I don't want to be fiddling around with anything that's making me frustrated. I would tier them like this. So if I did have my board set up, I would tier my damage counters like this if I was using them. And that way I know that these are everything between like 70 and 120. These up here are your odds and evens, up in the upper hundreds, and these are all your D6s down here. So that way, if you said, hey, Andrew, I need, I need like 90, I would just know to pick up one of these, and I know that it's got a 90 on it because it's in this row here. I don't need to go poking around for the dice with the 90 on it. I know that it's going to be here. And then everything down here, obviously, these are all D6s, so that I know that I could just pick them up and feel very comfortable. If I want to just do 80 that way, I could do 80 that way, and I can be quick with it like that. I did find that when I first picked these up, I was hunting around for them a little bit, just finding out which one is the one with the 80 on it, which one is the one with the 120 on it, which one is the one with 170 on it. I was having a little bit of a hard time like that, but I think, like I said, if you do decide to tier them out, I think that makes it much easier, or just separate them so I have my D6s on one side, and then I have everything else on the other side. Makes it much easier to keep track of. So I would definitely suggest that for any player looking to purchase these. And other than that, it's up to you. I think the TCEvolutions dice are just really beautiful. They look awesome, and they're very visually appealing. I would practice with them just so that you're comfortable finding the damage before you take them to a high stakes tournament, where speed is something that very much matters. Also, make sure that you do have a proper rolling die in addition to these dice. Obviously, none of these are going to work for rolling at a tournament, but that's kind of, that they're labeled as damage marker dice, which is pretty cool. So that you are just going to need at least one clear D6 so that you can roll it to see who goes first. And like I said, the GX counters, they're sold out online right now, but they are being redesigned, so maybe keep an eye out for them as well. But that's it for my TCEvolutions dice review. Let me know what you guys think of these dice in the comments below. Are they worth it? Do you think that they're worth purchasing? Could you see yourself playing with them? My final verdict, I think they're very visually appealing. I think they're very cool. I think they're a little bit on the expensive side, but they are a premium product. So like I understand why they are a little bit expensive compared to normal dice. But I do have to mention that just that they are kind of a premium, swag item that you're going to be paying a premium price for. But outside of that, I think they are just like awesome. They're very cool and very visually appealing, and they're functional too. So if you get good at using them, I think that they can be just a nice, simple damage counter that doesn't detract from being able to see the card, which is nice too. Instead of having 2 dice for 120, you could just have 1 die for 120. Which just takes up less space on the card so that you have more room to read. And even if they were used on stream or something like that, this is also just very easy to read, as you could see. So I do like it from that standpoint too. So final verdict, I think they're cool, but they are a little expensive, and I would practice with them so that you know how to use them and what numbers are on which dice before you go to a tournament. But other than that, very neat product. Shout out to Stephen Wang and TCEvolutions for providing them for me. Thank you all for doing that. Let me know what you guys think of these dice in the comments below. Do you think the product is worth it? Yes or no? Let me know what you think. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.